Hi, I'm Dr. Debulina Ghosh, Assistant Professor of Sociology and Co-Director of Women, Gender and Sexuality Studies at Georgia Southwestern State University. Today, I'm going to talk about the difference between absolute deprivation and relative deprivation. To begin with, let's discuss what's absolute deprivation, which is also known as absolute poverty. So absolute deprivation is an objective measure of poverty that is defined by the inability to meet the minimal standards for food, clean water, clothing, shelter, sanitation facilities, education, or healthcare. In this case, one feels poor or impoverished because they cannot meet these basic necessities of life and essentially compare their salary to the cost of living that is needed to maintain a certain standard of living, in addition to physical and psychological well-being, productivity, and social bond. For example, absolute poverty is highly prevalent in countries such as South Sudan, Yemen, and Somalia. In the United States, around 12% of the total population lives in poverty. The federal poverty line that measures absolute poverty annually indicates the total annual income below which a family would be impoverished. For example, according to the 2024 federal poverty line income numbers released by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the link which is available below, a family of 4 with an annual income of $31,200 will be considered below the poverty line, or in other words, impoverished. Statistics also show that in the US, mostly blacks and Hispanics face absolute deprivation or poverty, and so do women, the disabled, the immigrants, single-parent households, and those under the age of 18 and above the age of 65. In terms of geography, poverty is highest in the South, in inner cities, in rural areas, and in the suburbs. It is equally important to note that most people living in poverty are not unemployed. This, in fact, is evident in the term working poor, which I have discussed in my video on cost versus class. Relative deprivation, on the other hand, is a comparative measure of poverty based on the standards of living. So one can feel poor if their standard of living is less than that of other members of the society. They may feel poor compared to others because they have more material possessions or spending power than what one has. They're basically comparing their salary to the salary of others. For example, you may feel deprived compared to your friend because while you can afford a basic car such as Toyota Corolla or Honda Civic, they drive a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW. What you are essentially doing is you're comparing your lifestyle and purchasing power with that of your friend, but forgetting the fact that both cars are great on their own terms and have respective values. But this leads to the perception that you are less than your friend. Thanks for watching this video. Please like and share it and subscribe to the Sociology Professor channel.